Well, it wasn't a great start to a DreamHack Masters Spring for Beyond, but Tyloo will be very happy to break their 8-map losing streak on Inferno. Pilski, I know you got some words for me when it comes to that statistic, though.
I mean, yeah, I feel like Beyond's kind of screwed themselves in the veto because you look at the games that they played on Inferno, a lot of them were on ESL Pro League. They're getting double digits on some international teams. Then they go up against the Tiger, who's on a bit of a hot streak when they've just got a brand new lineup. Then they play Avicii Gaming, where Ulma drops a 30 on them, and they actually looked quite decent on that map. I don't think the statistic really speaks to how strong Tyloo can be on Inferno.
I believe the term you used was bogus.
Yeah, bogus statistics. So unfortunately, you know, Beyond's kind of put themselves in a rough position, vetoing into Inferno, which is a map that it's been in Tyloo's warehouse forever. You know, they played it against some of the best teams in the world at Pro League. Summer's taken that experience. There's no way that they can't find a way to, you know, play that map going forward and make it one of their better ones. And we've seen that there.
Indeed. Well, Mac, you casted that, obviously, with me. And
hey.
Yeah, it's nice to see you back here.
Yeah,
what did you think of that map as sort of a holistic kind of a thing? It just didn't really seem like Beyond ever got going.
Yeah, that was pretty much it. You know, no momentum found by Beyond, and Tyloo were impressive. They were hitting their shots. That's the Tyloo we want to see, and that's the Tyloo that has turned up today, and that makes me very worried for Beyond if we're heading to Dust 2, which is going to be relying heavily on aim.
Yeah, I have to agree with you. What about you, Pilski? I mean, it just didn't seem like Beyond was kind of... I don't want to go 2 BM here, but it really just seemed like there was only one team playing in that server at the moment.
Yeah, that's what it was. And they picked Inferno. They knew that they would have to start out on the T side. They got 0 banana control. The only time they really looked impressive was on the pistol. They were constantly having their money broken in the early parts of the game after losing that pistol with the anti-eco, which meant they didn't have the utility to be able to run protocols. And then Tyloo got confident on banana. It was almost impossible to take it off of them. That whole T side was a disaster. And by the time you're trying to, try to come back on the CT side in this current state of the economy, it just doesn't happen.
Especially when you're down that far.
Yes, you can't do it. It's just not possible.
You maybe come back from an 8-7 deficit or something like that, but when you're down 12-3, even when they win the pistol round, as soon as they lose that gun round, they're done, in a sense. So we took a look at the stats, obviously. Mac Danking was having a great time. Somebody was having a pretty good time as well. Those are two players that you definitely want to be seeing at the top of the scoreboards or towards the top of the scoreboard for Tyloo. And even Slowly, who was like bottom of the scoreboard, didn't seem like he was having a tough day at all. Being able to get those entries pretty comfortably as well. So I think it's sort of working pretty nicely here for Tyloo. Just don't feel like they're really being challenged too much at the moment, though.
No, I feel like, look, the utility and the mindset was certainly there for Beyond, but it was just the execution that was off. You could see that the confidence was not there. You said that they were barely able to get control of banana, but they were barely able to get control of anything. Anytime they went towards mid, it was just Danking standing there shooting them with the AWP, peeking dry, which is why we missed it a couple of times, because it was out of nowhere. Even MC didn't know it was coming. No one knew it was coming, and Danking was just on. So in that first half, he was just absolutely destroying Beyond. Second half, missed a couple of shots, as we mentioned at one point. We're like, oh look, he's just missed his first shot for the game, and I don't expect him to do too much of that as we head towards Dust 2, but on Inferno, look, Danking had a bit of a slow road to Rio, but he is fighting today.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think he had an okay road to Rio, right?
Yeah.
But we'll see. I think there's definitely another level that we're expecting to see from Danking, which we didn't quite get in road to Rio.
Yeah.
He's the kind of guy that we want to see sort of develop into a star player for this Tyloo roster in the future. But for all intents and purposes, Inferno, pretty comfortable map there for Tyloo. They sort of walked all over Beyond on it. Let's start thinking about Dust 2 now, Pilski. This is the map choice of Tyloo. We saw them playing a fair bit of that in Road to Rio. They're really comfortable on it, and I gotta be honest, I just don't see it happening at all for Beyond today.
Yeah, I don't see it happening even going on to Dust 2. It's a map that Tyloo's going to pick. I'm going to say it's quite an intelligent pick as well for Tyloo if you're looking at Vici being one of your main competition. I don't think you're likely to probably play Vici on Dust 2. That's probably going to get vetoed out. So this is a good way of playing a map that you're quite confident against your opposition on without giving too much away to your real competition, at least with how Beyond's playing in this tournament going forward if you're looking at the upper bracket match.
Yeah, I feel like it's going to be different if we expect, like, we're expecting Vici to win the next series as well, right? So if it's going to be Vici versus Tyloo, the maps are a bit different there, you know, compared to Beyond as well. And you know, you
would see Inferno probably again, but you probably wouldn't see Dust 2 in my mind.
I feel like Overpass would be in there.
Yeah, maybe.
Potentially. What's your take on Dust 2 though, Mac? You got a pretty rough one here for Beyond, I imagine. Failing some sort of big step up, maybe from QQ, maybe from Olivia. I'd say QQ because I thought he was kind of the silver lining there on Inferno. Olivia, obviously, Orb, Dust 2, you probably need to see something from him.
Yeah.
So these are the two players, at least in my mind, that need to do something for Beyond if they're going to be able to come back into this series.
Yeah, look, Mayroll started to show up at some points there, but not what we're expecting from a player like him, and as you said, Olivia, it's his time to shine, it is going to be Dust 2, Orping. The thing is, though, Tyloo, they've got 3 Orpers. They've got technically 5 Orpers. All of them can AWP. Anyone, you give them an AWP, they're
Can
probably
Jack
going to hit
AWP?
shots.
Can the manager just hop on a PC and probably AWP?
I tell you what, they've got an AWPer on the bench as well. So, one of them's not having a good day, we'll just get Zeta on the phone, say, how you going?
Hey man, you're done winning Valorant tournaments again. Can you just come and step in for a game? We got Dust 2 coming up.
He actually wasn't sniping in that tournament, by the way. I don't know if anyone's interested, but someone else was. So that was a bit interesting. Either way, I got to say, I think Tyloo's looking pretty comfortable. What about from the transition from Road to Rio, the performances we saw from them there, and what we've seen so far today from Tyloo? Is there any bit of a change-up? Because I know you were talking a lot about the playstyle that we saw from Tyloo in Road to Rio. Maybe a bit too early to call after seeing only one map, and we didn't get to see too much of them on the T side. But Tyloo's had a bit of extra time now to work with the roster, and hopefully they should come into this with a bit of a refreshed kind of a style, and maybe a bit more of a refined style even.
Look, if anything, I like the kill distribution across the board. That's the main thing that was quite pleasing to my eye. But at the end of the day, like, it's a 16-7 against an opponent that's not playing well. You can't read into anything. I'm hoping that they're starting to ramp up and get a bit of a sense for the identity of the team. You started to see a bit more aggression towards that B side of the map on CT side, which is what I really wanted to see. I think if you see somebody start to activate a little bit more, get into that bully mode, that's going to let Tyloo sort of ramp up and hit a whole another level. And I think in general, all 5 of them are threats across the board, so they're going to be quite a hard team for anyone to beat if they're playing well.
Yeah, well, I feel like we're going to see a situation. Look, there was 7 rounds won on Inferno there, as Beyond took both pistols. We're going to continue to see that. Beyond are very good at their pistols, but that's about all they have.
Yeah, but Tyloo has 2 pistols, because then they just buy deagles and kill you.
Technically, look, okay. They win on the eco, and
it's not fair.
It's not fair. The economy is not fair.
I tell you what, guys, I'm going to save you from that discussion. We're going to head to a quick break. Of course, map 2 is coming up after this. It's Dust 2, and Tyloo looking for a clean and quick 2-0 today over Beyond. 16-7 was the scoreline on map 1 Inferno, and that was Beyond's map choice. So the storyline doesn't get too much easier here as we head into map number 2, Dust 2, and it's Tyloo's. Not looking like it's going to be a particularly easy one here for Beyond to come back into, is it, Mac?
No, certainly not. I am very worried for Beyond. Look, they had a bit of a roughie on the first map, second map coming up, and I feel like it's going to be the same sort of thing. When they were Alpha Red, they had a very, very strong Dust too. You'd be scared of them up again, like going up into a matchup like this. But Tyloo, just today, I'm worried. I'm just worried for
Yeah, what about we follow that train of thought for a moment? You've kind of jogged something in my brain here,
Okay.
but I feel like Alpha Red looked like a stronger team, really, than Beyond has so far. I feel like they've lost a little bit of that magic, maybe, since they've come into this org.
Yeah, I can't really put my finger on it. It might be somewhat of a case of, the scopes being a little bit more nerfed. I mean, they were a team that really liked using those Kriegs and the Orcs and stuff like that, but it can't just all be that factor. I mean, you're seeing someone like Olivia having very, very poor performances as of late. My roles used to be quite a solid anchor. I think those are the 2 people that I need to see step up if Beyond's going to actually put together a win here on Dust 2, because let's be real, QQ in Road to Rio and in that last map, he was okay, but it was just about, a pretty poor performance from everyone. QQ and STK were the standouts in Road to Rio, and standouts, if you can even say that, when they didn't play particularly well, but they were the only ones really fragging.
Yeah.
I think you're going to need to see the AWPer of Olivia playing quite well. You're going to need to see Myrols playing well, because he's that B anchor, and you know that Tyloo on that T side is looking to bully some B players, although I don't know, we saw them go towards short a lot in Road to Rio, so we'll see.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect anything different, really. They do love that short control. It is one of the most crucial positions there on Dust 2. Although, if they do go for long, they might be able to shut down Tyloo that little bit more. I don't know. Look, it's Tyloo's map pick, so Alpha Red will be able to at least be on the defense. I mean, Beyond, rather. I'm just stuck.
That's right. Beyond is starting on CT side here. I was going to say, maybe if Beyond gets onto that T side, they try to look to dominate somebody, but that, I guess, is something that we will find out as we head now into Dust 2.
Indeed. So Tyloo, 2 sets of util. Going to take their time through lowers here. It's a smoke onto Xbox, couple flashes over mid as they start to try to clear out close to lower dark, maybe go out mid doors or take some short control. Meanwhile, beyond, they are set up for a mid to B split. You saw that one player leaning over towards window side, but now that they have established that Tyloo's gone for this short control, they are sort of leaning back towards middle, looking for a fight, looking for some information or some picks as Tyloo start to throw some utility towards A. That has prompted the rotation, but it's looking like Tyloo going to wrap back through CT spawn to B.
Oh, and QQ seems to be aware that someone's dropped here into CT. Awkward little fight, and it is going to be Kanti Z to lock it down. Somebody at lowers as well. We'll deny that aggression on the B-site player, and that's going to be B-site found. No one there to defend up the B ramp. Mayrolls will fall. And it's a rough situation for the retake for Beyond. 4v4, somebody, not going to be spotted initially. Great shot coming out from QQ. Attacker overstepping his boundaries. QQ, big picks, but it is going to be somebody to shut him down, and this flank is looking too damn strong. But it's a 1v2. Dan King popping off in the first map, needs to go again here, just can't get it done. 10 bullets left, goes for the reload anyway. Bomb not necessarily planted for him there at the back of site. Olivia is just going to be holding this one. STK just spinning away. There is no kit, but because he stuck it, that's going to be Beyond with the successful retake. It looked like it should have been a Tyloo round given the situation, but Beyond, they get their way back in.
Yeah, I think once they ended up in that situation where they actually took the B-bomb site, we're in like a 4-on-4 or something like that, maybe they should have just slowed things down. It felt like Tyloo got a little over-aggressive, gave a few too many opportunities to the CTs where, you know, it's going to be a lot harder for the CTs if they're forced to go through those choke points, through door, through window, to actually complete that retake. But when you're going out in the open, you're peeking them, you're giving them those opportunities, it might be a little bit easier to see that retake actually come through for Beyond. Either way, it did come down to pretty close XVX situation, and Beyond, nicely done to see them get it going. But Tyloo now, they don't want to let this one slip. Now going to force up. You do see 3 rifles with some armor, some Deagles, Deagle and armorless players as well for Tyloo, so it's quite a scary buy that Beyond may have to deal with here. Slow and steady so far from Tyloo though. You can see they are just poking the extremities towards Long Hut, towards Upper Dark, but now starting to centralize towards middle, take some catwalk control. Not really using too much of this utility to take the control, instead just walking up with the rifles, choosing to save the extra grenades, potentially for an execute. We saw them use this short execute many, many times in Road to Rio with, you know, varying levels of success, but particularly when you're not facing a player with an AWP, this could be a pretty high percentage play here for Tyloo.
Won't be too surprised if we see it yet again. Still 2 flashes there for Dan King, who I thought was going to be leading the way, but it looks like they are going to be sending the pistols in first. Attacker, even though he was blinded, manages to crack open the site. KNTZ over towards Long now. The last line of defense here at A, but he's going to be blinded, forced back onto the wall. And Tyloo, they're not going to clear it. They're happy with the short control, happy with the bomb plant for that position. But, oh, the inaccuracy of the FAM is playing a factor now. There it is slowly. Some more done. Somebody actually falls to the MP9. Movement accuracy just a little bit too strong. And
where'd they go?
Deleted in a matter of moments. Beyond disappear from the server, and Tyloo again win that second round. Now I want to quickly just mention as well, Beyond, they've done the 3-peat, 3 from 3 pistols so far, and 3 from 3 anti-ecos lost. So
yeah, anti-force, unfortunate. They will try and buy up themselves. I'd say that was quite a good play coming out from Tyloo, saving all of those smokes so they had enough utility for that full A-site execute. Worked very, very nicely for them considering there was no AWP player. You saw Olivia trying to get a bit gimmicky, getting up towards that sort of Gandalf position, playing up on the boxes. Didn't work out for him. Attacker was able to find him from there, just steadily sort of streamed downhill. Now you're seeing Tyloo go for a bit of a more high percentage play once again. Taking that long control up against an eco or a force, this will be quite a good play to go for, just to be able to deal with those pistols. But QQ's already found a peek onto Attacker, so things are starting to get more difficult for Tyloo. Actually using the Kriegs here to good effect, taking these long-range duels, but the Deagles being really effective.
Well, back to the 4v3 now. Tyloo a bit standoffish after this approach. KNTZ still fighting behind the STK's with the smoke, but it is going to be STK looking for the trade. Summer, however, doing all the damage himself. Olivia and Mayrolls need to go huge here. They've already had Summer knocked down to 5 HP, so it could be easy. There's a headshot. Body shots are the call to order. Now that man Summer with just 5 HP needs to win it in 1-on-2. Olivia, they know that he's here, but he looks away. He second guesses himself, and Olivia will clutch it on the Deagle. That's going to be an AK retrieved, and Beyond send it to a second.
I think that was almost an ace for Summer in that round as well, so massive work from him. But Beyond do actually manage to take one back. The problem is you're looking at all this money on Tyloo here. After getting that bomb plant, you're going to be able to get a full buy across the board, potentially a better buy than Beyond are going to be able to put together after winning that round. So definitely not taking full control of this half yet for Beyond. Still fighting for it, still back and forth action, but quite an impressive round to be winning with those Deagles there. Nice stuff from Mayrolls, although, let's be real, he's given way too many opportunities. You can't be firing the full 7 bullets and not be punished by any of the Ts there.
Too true, too true. And, straight out long already. Attacker has no worries here. That Molotov isn't going to spread effectively either. So, still with 96 HP to play with, slowly even just spamming away at the smoke, but they haven't spotted SDK on the cross here.
And DZ just got the flash ready. As soon as Tyloo does take contact, he's going to flash and peek off the corner there. Tyloo just holding the brakes. This long fight is everything for them. They don't have any utility in the back pocket to be able to throw and execute like we saw in that other round, so they need favourable trades here.
SDK spots that shadow, but the crab peek is just going to be too strong and slowly wins that one-on-one engagement. There is nothing else really remaining for Beyond here. We've got Olivia as the last line of defense. Oh my god, Dan King makes it look so easy.
Ooh, Olivia, though, he's fighting back a little bit. Find himself one frag, and Tyloo, that's going to give them pause for thought as they wrap back through Long Heart towards top middle to meet up with Dan King, who's just holding on to lower dark control. And Tyloo, in this 4-on-2, they're going to take the initiative. They're going to move around the map and cause the CTs to be able to rotate. See if they can potentially punish it and get themselves favourable trades. They're just going to group up, use this man advantage and try to trade down material to be able to win this round.
Oh, and Mayrolls, the victim of timing, didn't spot that bomb. If he went a second earlier, could have seen everything, but now Olivia just waiting in the smoke, and this is going to hurt. There's 4 of the Tyloo players on the opposing side just waiting for this to be a situation. Oh, and there it is. That's the A site found, and boom. 9 seconds, Tyloo bring it right to the end of the round, but they are happily finding themselves the second. It's just Mayrolls looking to save that M4A4 now.
Look, end of the day, he had to go for something in a 2-on-4 situation. However, I have to say, I'm pretty over seeing people crab walk into a smoke and wait for it to fade, so it's good to see it not work out.
Beautiful. Applause for that. Well,
little golf clap.
Little
just
baby
a tiny
golf
one.
Just a tiny one.
Yeah.
From Pilly with his soft hands.
Very soft, very moisturized. Don't ask why. Somebody seeing if he can get this last exit, but Mayrolls, I don't think he's going to be edging anywhere anytime soon. Poor choice of words, perhaps.
Oh, well, he's got the cover. And somebody just around the corner is going to survive on 9 HP as well. And that's 4 rifles saved over now for Tyloo.
Again, though, if you're Beyond with 1,400 in the bank, Zingo, Stan King, I can use this. Oh, man. Doesn't really have the same ring to it, does it?
No, I'm not sure that one worked, but...
Can you do one of the Thai players next? I'd love to see you try and pronounce it there, Text Guy.
Thank you, Text Guy. Well, Attacker fully blinded for so long. It is going to be somebody coming in to save him. Dan King continuing to get binked around the corner. Attacker fights his way out eventually. Now, the 2 remaining players here at A are already tagged up so heavily. For KTZ, there's no fear. Attacker shuts him down. And look, 4 of the players there for Tyloo are already so low. So there is an opportunity here for QQ, but you just don't see him going for it.
No, this is where you're going to see, unfortunately, Tyloo are really going to start to string away with this game. Going to be up 3-2, going to put Beyond on that single save where they're finally not going to be double ecos, so you probably won't see them force in the following round, especially if Tyloo survives with a lot of rifles. And that's where you will start to see Tyloo get 3-4 rounds here. What a shot from QQ. Continuing this impressive form. Probably could have taken out Attacker there, but there's no way you can expect a player crossing long at the same time as someone's flanking you from B. So he will go down.
Tyloo were everywhere.
Yes.
How do you even expect that? You just can't at that point.
You just don't.
Anyway.
This is quite a shot, though. That is not easy. Either way, though, finally a save for Beyond. So what was a back-and-forth affair at the start of the game, a close and tense couple of rounds, has now left us in a position where Tyloo definitely have firm control of this T side. It's going to be up to Beyond to take this single save. But even following this single save, you got your eyes on someone like Olivia, who, hold that thought, they are going to stream into lower, find the 1 frag, and 2 kills for my rolls. That's going to be pretty massive. Some pretty decent damage onto Tyloo. But what I was getting at is, at least with my rolls now, that he's got those couple of kills, even if he doesn't save this AK, 2,500 is going to give him an opportunity to maybe drop over an AWP, because, you know, your AWPs are going to be very, very important here on Dust 2. Otherwise, it's going to be a 5 rifle buy, which, I mean, it could work out for Beyond, but you need the utility, you need the AWP on the CT side of Dust 2 to be able to have a higher percentage at success.
Well, that's the thing as well. Beyond, we were talking about it before, they are going to need every advantage they can get in this matchup, and you can see why, because Tyloo is just running over them over and over again. Not a huge round for Beyond, but like considering they've only gone into this with USPs, they've done some decent damage, and Mayrol's found himself another as well. Awkward molly. Almost burning himself alive, but he will not be going to Ash this time. Tyloo recognizing that the economy, you know, it's in a pretty good way, but it could be better if they don't lose these 2 rifles, so they are not going to go for the hunt. And they will pay respect there to Mayrols, who will save the AK across into the 7th round. That's going to be 4 on the board for Tyloo as they come out with a solid anti-eco. You asked him and you've gone and done it.
I love it.
Can you say his last name?
No.
P-Ratch? Oh, it's gone. Okay, I tried.
P-Ratch is his first name.
Of course. I tried to read the second name, but it was gone because we need to get back to the business, you know?
Alright, well, here's this 5 rifle buy. We'll see how it works out for Beyond. They've used a lot of utility early on to be able to take that long control, to be able to stop the potential upper B rush, which Tyloo wasn't really going for. So already, they're kind of on the back foot in terms of utility. At this point now, Tyloo just a very, very standard default round from them. Not much utility invested, mostly just holding angles, particularly holding the extremities towards long doors, towards upper dark. Now starting to inch their way up catwalk. They have taken control there, and there's not really much Beyond can do about it, because, as we were alluding to before, they don't have an AWP hit. So flash over from long. Summer throws it over the roof through the skybox that wasn't always there, but now that it's gone, can definitely throw that flash. I think you could throw that flash on Old Dust 2 as well, though. And now the progression smoke into B as Summer leaves upper dark and moves his way towards catwalk. And I would imagine probably the same sort of execute as we saw in the other round. And once again, without an AWP, even with that one-way smoke, you know, it's pretty important to hold that cross and just try to be able to get 1 or 2 picks as they cross to the A bomb site. But without the AWP, it's going to be quite hard for Beyond to do anything about this A site take. And we would imagine that we're heading pretty quickly into a post plant.
Especially from this positioning from Cancel, though he manages to deny the drop there from Attacker. And the trade will come through for Summer. It's looking very sunny at the moment for Tyloo, but another pick for Slowly, who is happily just going to take all the battles he can. Orp working out there for Dan King. Mayrols didn't actually spot somebody, so he won't turn around in time. Now it's all up to KTZ. His position was known because he got the pick before in the round, and that's going to be 5 on the board for Tyloo. All over the place, it seems. Beyond just unable to have a solid defense here.
Even when KTZ gets that initial pick, there's no like retake from Beyond. There's no call for them to just try to go back and take that mid control, go through catwalk or something like that. They continue trying to fight and they're punished for it. QQ getting over aggressive up CT ramp before the bomb even goes down. And unfortunately that they've lost control of that round. They've lost control of that 5-on-4 situation that they had. The patience was not there from Beyond. And unfortunately, that's given Tyloo yet another round with pretty much the exact same play that they went for in the round before. Keeping things relatively simple. There's nothing complicated about this from Tyloo. It's very standard 1-3-1 defaults into catwalk control, all this long control anti-eco. It's about as sensible as it gets on the T side of Dust 2. Haven't seen any quick mid to B plays, haven't seen any B rushes. Nothing crazy, just very stock standard Dust 2 T-side defaults.
Oh, what a shot from Mayrols there.
I love to see it, Mac, but do it in the gun rounds, honestly.
Exactly. And STK is going to fall to even the numbers. That's going to be the 4v4. Look, there's a rifle that's been retrieved, but beyond it's looking unlikely. Great post plants already. That bomb's going to be planted for Plat, it looks like. No short control, so they are aware someone could be over towards Ninja there. Molly onto site. QQ will not be flushing out anyone because there's no one there to stop them from getting to the post plant. Summer as well, they're just going to continue to fight forward. KTZ, didn't actually fall. Came back to fight with the deagle of his own. But it is going to be the mop-up brigade as Tyloo get it all done in the end. Janitorial duties looking solid there. As Beyond will be back on the guns as we head into the 9th.
Well, the first opportunity now in the 9th round that they've been able to actually get an AWP on the board. And Tyloo is so far ahead economically that this is exactly where you would expect them to just change things up. Not go for that standard sort of default 1-3-1. It is a double AWP from Beyond. If they just go for a quick play in a round like this, it could totally throw Beyond off. However, they are just going to continue with what works. Nothing wrong with that. Just slowing things down. Looks like a quick mid to B smoke from Tyloo. They're not going to use it though. Instead, just trying to cause a reaction on the CT side as they go for this catwalk control. I guess the theory behind something like this is more so we're throwing a lot of utility towards middle. That's going to pull this extra CT rotator if there was one. In this case, Beyond's heavily leaning towards this A side of the map. So it will just be that normal B player, but does get picked by Danking on the cross there. A little bit greedy to try to cross back towards B ramp, is punished for it, and now Beyond at a deficit. It's going to be quite hard for them moving forward here.
Oh, especially if there's the double pump for the B split, because there's only that one B site defender, and it's going to be the AWPer as well. It's going to be Mayrolls on the secondary.
Yeah, and I mean, it's very, very hard to defend a mid to B if you're this B AWPer from platform. You do get swarmed from multiple angles at the same time, particularly if you do see that dribble smoke come out, but Summer's thrown that very, very, almost prematurely. STK, if he picks the right timing here, he could sort of creep out long, but Olivia, this is the aggression that we've been waiting to see from Beyond. He's the man who needs to take charge of this series, and that's a good start. Just getting that initial pick, STK picks the right timing to be able to come out of long hut, and finally, something going wrong for Beyond here, or right for Beyond here, rather.
This bomb is still trying to make its way up short. Attacker aggression down into CT, and there it is. The AWPs seemingly the answer for Beyond. They get on the board again. 2 for Mayrolls, 2 for Olivia. There it is, finally. We were asking for it. We were saying before, what would be the answer? We were looking at Olivia, the main AWPer there, but you didn't think Mayrolls would be coming in hot with the secondary.
Yeah, at the same time, though, Tyloo had every opportunity to be able to mix things up and not go for that sort of slower default.
Of course.
And this time around, now that they have identified that there is a double AWPs, they could potentially throw something a little bit different, or start to sort of adjust how they play up against this double AWP, be a little bit more aware of it and not lose picks to it. Looking like they are starting to move their way through the map, still sort of favouring this more sort of slow, standard default play. Taka being the main man to move through lower dark now, in combination with slowly, and take this catwalk control. Do have the 2-man setup. Olivia taking the shot from a bit further back with KNTZ anti-flash there, ready to peek out and try to pick a second player.
See how it goes. Somebody with the wild spray there, looking for anything through the door. Didn't connect on STK, but there it is. What an entry from Slowly. Fully expecting KNTZ to still be there, hidden around the corner.
Flash play does not work out for Beyond, and now you're seeing Olivia inch forward. He knows they're in a disadvantageous situation. Dug them out of it last time. I don't know if it's going to be working for them again.
Good timing to fall back to sight that flash. Knocking his confidence down a notch. Resmoke comes through, as well as the rest of the utility, and Tyloo again going to force their hand up short. This time Mayrolls. Well, it's Olivia
Great flashes.
They're in some good positions here.
Bomb's only now just crossing, so with 20 seconds on the clock, though, might be difficult. Tyloo now putting down the bomb. Beyond just biding their time.
Problem is, Beyond have no utility to go for the retake. They're going to have to heavily rely on their aim now, but Tyloo, they are going to be fighting this one together. Looking to trade onto QQ, comes through eventually. Slowly gets the job done. Mayrolls as well. It's him and Olivia on the AWPs to go for the retake, and these weapons, they're not made to make these retakes work, although It is going to be the swap to the AK. Mayrolls continuing to go forward unscathed so far. Flashes himself, unfortunately, is going to waste a little bit of extra time, and Olivia values that AWP too much, so he's not going to go anywhere near that A site. It's another round for Tyloo. Olivia will be able to carry the AWP forward if he can save, but he will hear attacker coming straight towards him now. Oh, big shot. Gets it on the board, but unfortunately, for Beyond, that's another for Tyloo. Great execute up short, and Beyond, they invested so much utility so early on and had to invest in the double AWP, so they had no utility for the late round.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, you know, that flash play doesn't work out for them. It's punished by slowly. They're playing from a disadvantageous situation in the mid-round there, and those flashes from Tyloo post-execute were just so good. Olivia couldn't even see a single thing. No mystery as to where Beyond is in this round. Quad nade into long hut. Tyloo had that short control. And again, they're going to go for a pretty high percentage. Beyond going for that nade stack in sort of response to Tyloo, every anti-eco going out long. This time they do decide to take their time, and it pays off for Tyloo. Not going straight out long, avoiding that nade stack, and instead walking towards catwalk. I think I'm enjoying how Tyloo's playing. They've been very switched on. And I think that's been really the story of this full Chinese Tyloo roster post their Pro League. They definitely are playing a hell of a lot more structured than you've seen a lot of previous Tyloo rosters play.
Oh, QQ's going to be spotted here, surely. Especially if the boys are making their way up long. How's the timing? Spotted on site. There is the wallbang to come through, but QQ is still fighting here with the Deagle. Unable to find a second victim. Goes close range to Dan King. Traded from attacker. But still, that's some big damage with the Deagle. And on the flank, Mayrolls now looking to dominate short. Summer sticking this bomb plant just to get the extra money on the board. But in the 1v3, there's some rifles retrieved from Beyond now, and it's a precarious position. Mayrolls does it all himself, straight up short. Beautiful shot with the Deagle to kick things off, and then finishes with the AK. That is going to be 4 on the board now for Beyond, after it looks like pistols again were the answer.
Well, pistols have been the thing that's been giving Tyloo the most trouble. They've had not much problems winning a lot of these gun rounds, but when the Deagles come out, they seem to sort of switch off a little bit. End of the day, though, someone like Mayrolls is having a great performance so far in this game, but I'm going to need to see him stepping up to that level if you see Tyloo try to go for a gun round towards this B-bomb site. At the end of the day, that's what's really going to be mattering. Olivia's having a pretty decent game for himself. What's that?
The main word you said just there is if. So far, Tyloo have not wanted to go towards that B side at all. There was the one round.
No, they're going for a delayed long take this time around with somebody going towards catwalk. There's the flashes out.
Or attacker. Hard clears the corner, but STK continuing to fight. The supportive flash not quite working out. It's actually going to blind both his teammates. Olivia falling as well for that one. Now, Mayrolls needs to go huge. Early rotation over towards CT here, but there's the utility to deny the vision on the cross. And the bomb is surely being sent on its way. Beyond looking like they are going to be happy to save now.
And that's great stuff from Tyloo. That's something we see from a lot of European teams nowadays, going for that delayed take onto long with the flashbangs. They've used that to perfection in that round. I'm really enjoying watching Tyloo play. I'm waiting for that round where they just sort of turn everybody loose and go for a bit of a wild card, but I haven't really seen it. Keeping things very structured, very sensible on this T side, and who can blame them? It's working beautifully for them. This time around, it's not going to put Beyond on an eco winning a round like this. They do have a fair bit of cash in the bank to be able to recover from it, but end of the day, if they don't come through in this next round or the round following that, and they let this get a little bit too far away from them, let Tyloo hit that double digits, it's going to be a little bit harder to roll onto the T side and try to bully a Tyloo that's looking quite on point individually on the CT side today.
Beyond now. With that save and the extra cash in the bank, we are going to see a repurchase of that double AWP now. Look at that, the big entries over towards long. Tyloo just hitting it perfectly every time. Dan King on a rampage again. And now he's looking for something here at mid, waiting, hoping someone crosses close, but it is going to be behind the smoke, nice and safely. Oh, here's that aggression. Tyloo, they're going to be flashing the corner. Somebody, is he going to go through? Oh, they're going to be kissing in the smoke now. KNCZ manages to make his way through. Summer on the trade, but now it's an awkward situation. Summer is going to come out as the victor.
Yeah, STK might have bit off a little bit more than he could chew on such low HP going towards pit there and loses his life for it. But now in a 3-on-3 beyond, they're not going to sit around and wait for Tyloo to make any kind of move throughout the map. They're just going to take matters into their own hands. They take this short control. You have Myrolls sort of leaning more heavily towards middle as they are very well aware that Tyloo's situated towards long. Just going to go back and check that B side of the map, but with the flash and Dan King posting up in the pit here, that's going to be yet another tell that sort of informs beyond that it's quite likely they're still towards long, but now you're starting to see the seeds of doubt being sowed in their mind. They are looking towards that B tunnel. You've got Myrolls posting up on platform. You've got QQ leaning a little bit more towards middle and Olivia towards catwalk. And Tyloo, 2 smokes for the cross. They've got a couple of Molotovs. They've got everything they need to be able to put down a plant for a long platform. Set Dan King up in that post plant.
But not if Olivia has anything to say about it. That's the missed utility and the way you lose the round as well. Oh, slowly re-peeks behind the smoke, trying to turn the round on its head. But it's going to be Dan King doing the dancing, it seems, as he just barely retrieves that bomb. Time to get this plant as well. Olivia not quite spotted going for the drop there. Might have been heard. Looks like Dan King wants to continue fighting. That's what he's certainly best at right now. And he brings it back to the 1-on-1. Given it was a 1v3, Mayrolls at the ready. Both of them missing. And Dan King going to continue to go forward. The jump up comes through and, oh, just awkwardly. It's edges, inches between all these kills. Shoulder comes through and Mayrolls wins it just to clutch it for Beyond. So again, one of these AWPs is going to be carried forward. There's some extra money in the bank, so Mayrolls will be able to drop across another one. But that's going to be costly. Beyond, they can't keep winning these rounds in this fashion.
It's going to be quite expensive for them to reinvest here. It's a small thing that loses Tyloo that round, but it's really just down to not throwing these smokes on the cross. Terrible joke. Ready for fatherhood, Tech Sky, that's for sure.
Where are Mayrolls?
This time around, no long control for Tyloo. They do turn their attention back towards short. Flash to put attacker on the line towards Xbox there as Tyloo start to make their way up middle towards catwalk once again. This time, looking like they might be sort of angling for a mid to B this time around. You're looking at attacker and Summer moving towards tunnel, but maybe not. Taking this catwalk control. I like this from KNTZ as well, just doing what he can. You know, he's not having a fantastic game so far, so something that you can always bank on is just being able to throw a good grenade and put yourself in a decent position to support your teammates, be able to read whatever the play is, put yourself in the spot like Goose. You know, even if you can't hit the shots, you can still make yourself useful.
You can throw some absolutely spectacular flashes from Goose as well if this short push comes out, and that's happened so many rounds, but this time Tyloo finally looking like they're going to change it up. Smoke for mid B.
Mayrolls on a bit of an off angle towards tunnel here. QQ underarming that smoke, just trying to delay for the rotate, trying to split up this Tyloo push a little bit, but does over-aggress there towards window.
Dan King at the ready, but Mayrolls finally has an opportunity. Unfortunately, will be traded out instantly as Tyloo, their coordination on the bus towards B was just way too good, way too much for Beyond to deal with.
And that's
look,
the problem.
Save's been on already.
That's the problem with that AWP defending a mid to B split. You know, if you only get a chance to really fire one shot, maybe two most of the time before you're instantly traded.
Well, there was full reliance on QQ to do his job and defend at the window as well, but when Dan King is on one and just shoots you across the smoke, then really there's not a whole lot you can do. At least there was an exit found by STK, so small victories, but Tyloo, they're going to be sending this one to a 9th, and if they can turn it into a 10-5 half, it's looking very unlikely that Beyond can get back into this game.
Yeah, and even just losing that extra rifle makes all the difference heading into the last round here. It's just another player who has to go down to an MP9 or a FAMAS or a pistol. Only the single AWP being retained for Beyond, and I'd say that 10-5, you know, it's not the worst thing in the world. Maybe if they can win their 4th pistol, but I don't know that pistols are necessarily mattering here for Beyond anymore. More sort of breaking down to this part in the game. Well, the bar is pretty lackluster, not great utility. Some pretty terrible weapons in the FAMASs and the UMPs. Tyloo, a good spawn for long. They take it straight out. Full control of long there. Beyond stacked up towards Catwalk. So what do Tyloo do here? Do they actually execute this A site from long, or will they just sort of slow things down and go back for a more default standard approach and go towards short? Looking like they're setting up for... Is that a mid to B smoke, or that's an Xbox smoke, I think. Yep.
Surely.
Xbox smoke for Tyloo. Might help Summer take some control there. Either way, they're sort of just feigning some pressure. They're well aware that Beyond's going for a short stack. If you're not contesting long, it's got to be players towards Catwalk. Now mollying off Car. Attacker's going to be the one sort of controlling the rotates, trying to be a bit of a thorn in the side of the CT defense, but he is spotted in lower. He actually just repeats that into KNTZ. Very confident. And now Tyloo, the only part of this push left is really just these smokes on the cross and the flashes high over to the top of Car.
Confidence is key, but it could have been the curse this time. Tyloo continuing forward, but the man advantage is there. The numbers for Beyond are looking strong indeed, and it's going to be Mayrell's first line of defense here, mollied out into the open, but do they expect the second man? STK wanted the trade, but that range with UMP is looking unlikely. KNTZ gets it done with the M4 though. And we are going to see the coverage. They know that SDK is stuck here over towards Ninja. There's 19 seconds, and it is just going to be the guns to cover. There's no molly to flash him out. There's no utility remaining at all for Tyloo. Big shots, though, from Dan King, looking to get it done slowly, continuing on, and another from Dan King. The man is on fire. He's on a rampage with the AWP right now. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to go to a short break, but halftime's on the other side. We'll see you then.
All the time that you spend, what did it cost? Run around in the full of that chaos. You want a good life, you should make one. Yeah. You show your real side when the day comes. Under the cover of the nighttime.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the second half. It is Beyond taking on Tyloo, and Tyloo are certainly looking like the Titans that we know. Beyond, they've put in a decent effort here on Dust too, but as they head into that second half, into the T side, it's looking very unlikely, and the odds, they are very heavily favoured in Tyloo's favour. There's nothing. There is nothing. No hope there given to Beyond. So let's see if the odds are correct and if Tyloo can just close this one out. They only need 6 rounds here on the defense to get it done.
Yeah, we will see. Beyond. See if they can go 4 for 4 in pistols. Don't know if it's necessarily going to help the rest of the game, but one round at a time, right? Things have not really been going fantastic for them.
Step by step.
That's it. Take this catwalk control. Bomb is towards lower dark, though. So they're not in a rush to be getting anywhere soon. Looks like Olivia going to be flashing high over the site, and potentially you will see these players maybe go towards CT. No, just getting straight across onto the site.
I love that. Movement Boy hits the hop from the run boost as well, carries that momentum and makes his way straight to the short box, but there is no bomb here. It has fully drawn the rotations from all of Tyloo, though, so it is going to be a B site for free, but Beyond need to go now.
Yeah, they need to go into the site. They also need someone controlling these rotates. So it's one thing to pull the rotates from Tyloo back towards CT spawn, but if you don't punish them for being in the wrong position, then it's not really going to help you too much. And unfortunately, I think they've missed their window here, Mac.
100%, and now slowly he's going to be spotting that bomb, making its way out. Oh, big shots on the pistols again, and some manages to deny the cross at least, but it is going to be the pincer coming through. SDK gets it done, attacker falls. That's going to be 4 from 4 for the pistols for Beyond. But can they finally win this second round?
That's what I wanted to see. It's nice to see SDK actually step out middle and punish some of those CTs moving back and forth between the sites. One of the strongest things that you can do on Dust 2 is just aggress out those mid doors and control those CT rotations between A and B. So you love to see that. Exactly like you said, though, very, very difficult now for Beyond to close out this round. That's going to be a good start, though, taking out Dan King. Next person you're really looking at is exactly this somebody. Is it top middle with the CZ?
The man is very, very good at holding W.
Yep.
He snuck straight through. That's a whole lot of information, though. If he just goes that little bit further forward, he'll spot that no one's there at bedroom, and there could have been this rotation to buff the numbers over towards the B site slowly. However, is going to be left all in his lonesome with the Deagle, and he just has nowhere near enough bullets there with that weapon to deal with 3 little boys running out of the B tunnels, but there it is. A second round looking like it's finally been won by Beyond, but not going to get ahead of myself. Beautiful shot coming out from Olivia there. Great reaction with the scout.
He's having a bit of a giggle there, taking his hand off the mouse. Looking good for Beyond, though, here in this anti-force. Tyloo just holding on to the Deagle, holding on to the scout. Take him into the next round, see if they can do a bit of damage with them. Beyond would do very well to hold on to 5 guns here. Definitely would help him out going forward.
I'm sure their accountants would be very proud of them at this point. As long as they do not fall attacker in a strong position there in the corner, and there is going to be a gentleman's agreement. No hunting going through, but Beyond, they realize when they need to make a comeback like this, it's not really a comeback at this point, but if they want to win this map, they need to manage their finances, because that's what let them down over on Inferno.
For sure. And it's looking good so far. Here's the classic, just swing across mid doors and take fights, and that's exactly why someone like Summers feeling pretty confident doing that. Takes out Olivia early on. So already some problems in this third round here for Beyond.
Somebody forced out from the molly. No extra action though.
Slow and steady from Beyond, holding some of the extremities, seeing if they can punish any potential pushes here.
Speaking of, you do have Dan King all the way through bedroom. He's just waiting, hoping that someone falls into his little trap. Now Tyloo just don't have to worry about long at all because Dan King is in this position. He's going to hear that rotation away as well, it would seem, but there's a lot of noise being made over towards short now. So Tyloo happy to hold their ground.
Every time somebody pushed away and then just slinks straight back, but punished for the push. SDK picks him up fairly nicely there, and there's a Molotov towards back flat, but this is Summer now starting to step up a little bit.
Man's on fire, there's the lineup, but it is going to be 1 man turning into 3. And that's the B site. Found somebody. He went for that push early and just lost that advantage. And now Tyloo going to be fully punished for this one. Attacker seems to be spotted, but Mayrels brings it back there. Inaccuracy of the Galil finally coming in handy. as he finds it through the smoke. But there it is,
Oh.
8 on the board. Beyond, they get it done.
Dan King doesn't actually have enough to glass cannon, nor at 4.6 there, so might have overspent buying up a Deagle in that last round.
Someone had
Unfortunate.
5k though. They could.
Yeah, but they wouldn't have armor if they drop it.
They could. Nah, he
They
doesn't.
wouldn't have armor. It's not going to work. All right, well, 5 rifles for Tyloo. Not going to be doing them any favours against the AWP of Olivia, who's, for the first map in quite a while, at least looking quite decent for Beyond. Which is what I've been waiting for. So now Beyond. This should be a T-side they're reasonably familiar with. You know, Dust 2 is not an unfamiliar map for Beyond, going back multiple iterations of their lineup. You see the 1-3-1 for them, very similar to what Tyloo was going for. Maybe a little bit faster short control from Beyond. 2 players minding the extremities while they take catwalk control. A nice nade. Doesn't quite connect, actually. Would have expected that to do more. What do Beyond do with this catwalk control, though? They have a hell of a lot of utility. The world is their oyster, effectively. They are going to throw the dribble smoke out B at the same time as that one way towards short. So it's very unclear to Tyloo what the play is here.
Oh, we've seen this before, though, from Tyloo. Just happily dropping a smoke of their own and aggressing behind the short utility.
Looks like mid to B is going to be the play. That smoke thrown into upper dark is definitely going to make things a little bit more difficult for someone like QQ. Somebody creeping up. Oh, he's missed the timing there. Unfortunate. Now this mid to B split comes out.
Up B ramp, they're scurrying, but a crossfire's established now. Tyloo, they need to hold. They need to hit all their shots. There it is. The contact play comes through slowly now at the back of sight. Dealt with by May Rolls, and that's the 2v4. But the CT is too far away to have any impact for the rest of the round, as long as Beyond don't get too over-ambitious and overextend here.
Yeah, look, it's a good round from Beyond, you know. You're looking at the odds saying 1-26, and it's a bit of a far cry watching a round like that Beyond have absolutely no hope here. It's a little bit easier to discount them and go, look, they haven't performed well in that last map. They didn't really perform well in Road to Rio, but this is a team that's very capable. They just need to find what they're missing. We know that they have that potential in the tank. They're a team that definitely has been scary in the Asian region before. There's a reason why they came through a lot of these open qualifiers and came into the closed qualifier portion or the playoff stage of a lot of these competitions and have earned their way there. They can be a scary team. They just need to realize their potential. And maybe just picking up a few rounds here, stringing a few together, starts to get the juices flowing, starts to get the confidence rolling and the momentum. And maybe they can start to sort of evolve from a shadow of their former selves in these last couple of games I've watched of theirs.
Evolving is exactly what we're seeing, though. As that's 4 in a row now for Beyond. Tyloo taking that tactical. Just looking to figure out what they need to do to get back on the board, because this defense is not looking like what we saw in the first half. The shot's just not quite hitting as well.
Quite hard in the situation that they had in that last round, though. It's only one gun round, and we do know that that mid to B split can be quite tricky to hold after, you know, you lose control of short. Those 2 dribble smokes come out. You have very limited information as Tyloo. And then, unfortunately, somebody... If he hits that timing, gets one pick and gets away, or multi-frags there, it's a different round. But it's a game of timing, and it's a very, very high percentage play that Beyond goes for, particularly after finding that first pick. So let's give Tyloo the benefit of the doubt. They definitely have some more to show us here on this CT side. I at least want to see Dan King get his hands on an ult once or twice. He's been phenomenal in this series.
Sure, we'll see it with 28k in the bank right now. If they lose another, that is certainly enough to make your wish come true, but it looks like it's going to be QQ doing the shooting this round. Missed opportunity there as Summer goes back for seconds. Summer and Slowly teaming up there with the 2-man push. No rifle retrieved, though. So good discipline not to bust into upper dark.
And let's look at this round for what it is. 2 rifles, a handful of pistols and armor. This could be a recipe for success for Tyloo. Beyond, it's looking like they want to go for that mid to B. I like that flash from T-Spawn into Longheart. That might sow some seeds of doubt of Tyloo, whether this is an A split. They're going to start to move forward a little bit. Molotov pushes them into STK, who's trying to hold this mid aggression. Summer's sitting right inside of the smoke. It is a 1-for-1 at middle, but it's all on Summer.
They're expecting this to happen as well, and the 5-7 does get the job done. That's going to be B-site. Lost slowly, needs to make his way back to doors. Gifted the opportunity, will find one with the fade shot. 34 HP to hold, but the cross has already come out. Ken's going to be spotted. No damage done with the jump shot, and there it is. Bomb plant should be secured now, but the numbers are still there for Tyloo. It's just a matter of when Tyloo decided to go for this, but Olivia wants to try to even the numbers himself going forward. Now that's going to leave Kent solo. 1v3, so much damage done to all of Tyloo, but misses the opportunity. That was slowly, fully blinded, it seemed, as he's managed to find the head. Crosshair placement, immaculate, and there it is, the retake. Tyloo get their first round for the second half and make it over to 11, keeping that lead.
Yeah, and one of the biggest issues you're going to run into on the CT side of any map, but Dust 2 in particular, is the money game. If you're winning a round with 2 to 3k in the bank, you're not going to be having any economic issues for the foreseeable future. So that's definitely put Tyloo in a fantastic position. Up 11-9, a little bit of money left over in the bank. Look at, the top 3 players on their squad, 3 to 5k in the bank across a couple of their players. Definitely helps out, makes a pretty massive difference. Over on the side of Beyond, though, they've been able to recover from that last round loss. They've got plenty of cash still in the bank, and they've been able to put a full buy on the board with an AWP.
Speaking of, ask and you shall receive. Dan King, he's got the AWP himself. And he's getting very aggressive up short now. Finds the first, but great positioning. Oh, no trade. Dan King lives to tell the tale.
I think that was a flash from somebody, or that was a T-side flash. Not too sure. For one though, and the nade actually puts Beyond in a situation where they're going to start charging up catwalk. You're looking at QQ on the lurk, walks straight through that upper smoke as he hears the footsteps fading away. Might have a great chance here to get himself a bit of a freebie, and there it is. Easy one tap to the back of the head, and he just goes straight forward.
Summer, aware of this position though, needs to deal with the flanker before going forward. Oh, missed opportunity. QQ on fire though. Great reaction. Attacker puts an end to the rampage. Now it's back to the 1v2. Kenty's going to be spotted going on the barrels. What is that man doing? Speaking of barrels, that's where Mayrolls is as well. And he's looking for the Kukli, but it's not going to be coming through. Mayrolls now takes the shot, falls back, goes for the AK instead, knowing that he has a better chance given the situation. Oh, just spamming away. Attacker on 5 HP, gets it with the secondary, and there it is. Tyloo pulling another one from the brink.
Second round in a row where he should have seen it going Beyond's way, but they've just let that one slip. Regardless, though, they have the money in the bank to be able to recover from that. And Tyloo, they've won a couple in a row here, reducing their loss bonus, and they've been expensive rounds. So, I mean, at least that last one was quite expensive. So that's going to take a bit of a toll on their money. Probably Attacker's going to have to throw a gun over to somebody. Attack for Beyond. Thinking this one through, taking their time. It's going to be a pretty important round going forward. If you give Tyloo this round win, you're probably getting put on at least a singular save. You're giving them that 14 round mark. That's a little bit too much room to work with for the CT side. You want to keep things close. You want to keep Tyloo's money nice and low. You don't want to let them streak away with things and make this a lot harder for you to win. So Beyond, this is a critical round for them to just keep Tyloo honest and keep themselves in this series and in Dust 2.
Oh, and Olivia gifted 2 opportunities to go for a shot, but he's happy with the information as we are going to see the rest of the boys just smashing their way out long now off the back of a couple of flashes. No CT is going to be spotted there. Somebody all the way back over towards short. Him and Attacker looking to go for the 3-man setup as Dan King's already down there.
It's a full commitment out long here, which means that Beyond's liable to go for this full execute onto this A site. Probably smokes on the cross, couple Molotovs flying across the double stack and things of that nature. There's a cross smoke ready from Olivia. Throws it out. Attacker getting ready to set up that one way for himself. See if he can find himself a cheeky angle. But does get pushed back by the Molotov.
So good utility coming out from Beyond. They need the entries though. Time into the flash does not work out there for Mayrolls looking for the entry. But Tyloo still yet to lose a player. Everyone alive as the bomb goes down on top of default of all places. And that's going to be rough for Tyloo to defuse on the retake.
There's one smoke there. Beyond setting themselves up for this post plant. A 5v5 retake. Molly into Goose. Does push one player out. Mayrolls goes down early.
It's about to be a bloodbath as they make their way to site. STK in a strong position. QQ falls, but oh, there's the trade. Another for attacker. It's left, right, good night. As it's all up to Olivia. Bomb going to be planted for him. Danking needs to go up. He'll fall. Summer going forward. He's not going to have the time to get back to site. Olivia holding strong. Triple on the AWP as Beyond. They've crossed it to the double digits, winning that critical round. But their economy, look at it, Pilly. It has gone into the bin.
This is the critical round. This is where Beyond all of their efforts, all of those close rounds to keep Tyloo's money a little bit more honest, although in the previous they won with that half buy sort of save round, has given them a lot more sort of longevity on this CT side. This time now, very limited utility on this buy here for Tyloo. So this is where Beyond all of the fruits of their labor can sort of come together here and put them in a situation where they can break Tyloo's money and even up that round count and start to keep them honest economically on this CT side moving forward, which is going to make things a lot easier for Beyond to start to get on top of them on Dust 2 here. But if they don't win this round, then all of that is thrown in the bin because they will be broke. They will be on that single save and Tyloo will be able to get 13, 14 rounds and a lot of room to work with. So this is really it for Beyond. You can see they're taking their time. Very timid moving through the map. A minute 8 on the clock, and they still don't have short control. Don't really have any map control. So they start to move over there. Plenty of utility here. They're going to need to use it well because all Tyloo really has is the firepower. They don't have any utility for themselves. So they're looking to try to fight their way out of this. Nice flash. Gets beyond this short control. 45 seconds on the clock. They need to make a move here. They can't let the clock get to them. Mid to B smoke thrown out there.
Counter utility baited from Tyloo, the one smoke that they had for the round, and that's where it's invested. But with 30 seconds, it's looking unlikely.
Here's a short execute here. Somebody's rotated over early, and Danking's actually playing towards this ramp position rather than playing the crossover. Never mind, somebody moves towards ramp. It's going to be quite hard for Beyond to deal with these players here with 20 seconds on the clock. That's a big whiff from Danking, though.
Yeah, missed opportunity, and that bomb still needs to go down, but the Molotov, it's just bought just a lot of time for Tyloo here. 3 on the site. And, oh, somebody tries to deny it, but the cover is just there. KTZ falling. Mayrol's going to go down as well. Somebody gets it all done himself. Olivia now needs to deny any cross over towards site, and Bull starts off strong. It's going to be the 1v4, though. And, oh, the calls to save. He doesn't want anymore, he can't do anymore, he just doesn't back himself given the situation and knows that they need every single weapon possible to have any opportunity here. But Tyloo, as you mentioned before, it's looking like with 4 alive, their economy's growing just as Beyond's is broken.
I think Beyond, the problem in that last round is they're letting the pressure get to them a little bit there. They're a little bit too timid moving through the map. That runs the clock down quite a lot. By the time they execute onto the site, they're just taking far too long to get that bomb planted. And by the time that they actually do, you see the cover really isn't there for the ramp player. All the smokes have started to fade, and they've sort of missed their window to be able to set up a very strong post plant. Too many riflers sort of caught out in no man's land. Far too easy for somebody to clean up that 3K. That should never be allowed to happen. Now Beyond, they have to take a single save around this AWP. You're looking at Tyloo, a very, very solid last round with plenty of cash in the bank in this one. If they don't lose too many weapons, they're going to be in an extremely strong position to close this game out.
Thought that smoke went to Timbuktu. Over into no man's land before going back to CT spawn. Now, we are going to see the boost there over the smoke. Summer not getting too over-ambitious with this angle. He doesn't want to fall and give up the B site for free here. And now out comes the utility. Great reaction with the flash of his own to give himself some space. Now him and somebody going to be fighting together. This is a beautiful crossfire, and QQ has something to say about it. But almost shut up himself. Rotations do come through. Bomb still needs to cross. Olivia gets it done. Was that a collateral? Into CT. What is going on? Danking gets something. Olivia. It's the Olivia show.
One-on-one, Danking trying to find an angle onto Olivia as he crosses back through doors, but now starting to progress, actually chooses to double back through lower dark. This could definitely catch Olivia off guard in a position like this, but his crosshairs plays very, very well. Oh no, the pre-aim, it's just too strong. And Danking, I mean, we've seen it multiple times this series as well. He's got very good crosshair placement and movement when he's sliding onto those angles with the AWP, and it does him justice once again. But that got far too close for Tyloo. That's got very expensive from them. All of the hard work they've done in that last round, getting a clean round win, has definitely made has been made very expensive by Olivia,
So it's
who
not...
almost aces there.
Yeah. Although, it's not all over yet. Economy's still in question if Tyloo lose this one. Because of the traded rounds, the round loss bonus is not going to be there, and Beyond could have an easy way back into the game, but they still need to hit their shots.
They have too much of a deficit to sort of chase is the problem. That even if they do win a gun round here, which they're looking to do so, I mean, charging straight through the smoke, going very aggressive. Actually, they're just going to go straight onto this A-bomb site.
But Dan King, no fear, going aggro himself, is going to find the first, second as well as Summer is in the mix. This is just a complete bloodbath at long. Everyone falling, no damage done to Tyloo. We questioned the economy, but it doesn't matter because 5 of the men all survived.
And look, it's disappointing to see the game sort of end in this regard. You're looking at a team Beyond, they've really sort of done the hard yards here on Dust 2. They've actually tried to get back in this series, and this is the Beyond that's been missing for a lot of games. You know, this is the Beyond that I wanted to see coming into DreamHack here. They've missed another opportunity to showcase that, but at least for some of this map, they actually look competitive. They actually look like they should be able to try and win it. And I'm hoping that even if they move through the lower bracket, they can start to ramp up and show some of this form that we've seen on Dust 2, because look, they were definitely within touching distance. They just missed their opportunity here on Dust 2 to try and even up this series and start to get rolling. Definitely disappointing.
Well, potential match-winning round now. We are going to see KNTZ go aggressively through the smoke. Attacker falling. But Tyloo, they are hungry. And it's somebody pushing as you would expect. He's going to be spotted by KNTZ so low, it's only going to take the single bullet. Now SDK and Olivia have a huge job ahead of them. And it's going to take a whole bunch of headshots, but you cannot afford to whiff like that. This is looking like it could be all over Red Rover. Tyloo falling. Olivia finds another headshot, brings it to the 1v2. It was a 1v4 bomb retrieve, but missed opportunity. Dan King misses the sitter.
It's winnable for Olivia. Money's there for Tyloo. Even if they did potentially lose this round, they could probably recover from it, and it would still be an expensive one for Beyond. Tyloo not going to take their chances, just spotting out Olivia's movements, keeping tabs on where he is as he moves up catwalk. They're very well aware that he's making his way to this A-bomb site.
And they're just going to double up here. Surely there's a trade. Olivia sharp with the rifle at the moment, but with 10 seconds, it looks like Dan King's going to go for the jumping no-scope. Doesn't work out the first time. No second attempts now as man spotted. Expecting Dan King as well. It's the 1v4. Is it going to come through? 12 HP. Olivia, one bullet is all it's going to take, and it happens Beyond. They fend it off and live for one more round.
And that's just Tyloo going with a pretty massive misplay there. You have to say it. Like 4-on-1, they're literally just charging at him in T-spawn. They've gifted that round to Olivia in a situation where he should not be allowed to go for that. And it was a similar thing again towards that B site. They're just giving too many chances to Olivia, who's now starting to show up very, very late to this series towards Dust 2.
Is it a situation, though, where it's better late than never?
Well, look, best case scenario, Beyond wins this round. They break Tyloo's money. They're on a single save. That would put Beyond towards 13 rounds if they close out that anti-eco. They still have to win a gun round to even push this into OT. It's not going to be easy. It's doable, though.
And look at Attacker. This is a very ambitious position. He had the lineup, but Beyond, they fought it together. Shoulder to shoulder, and that's going to be long control taken. Man advantage now. Who's that? Somebody looking to get very aggressive at long, edging forward. Only a single smoke invested. Second is on its way. But somebody, he's going straight through. The smoke, it's not deep enough. It's allowed him to get onto the box, but Olivia at the ready, reading that jump up. And there's the two-man advantage.
Yeah, well aware, ready for it. SDK just shifts through the edge of the smoke, takes out Dan King as well. It's looking pretty easy for Beyond, is actually walking towards this speed bomb site.
Even though it was close range, Summer could not get away with a thing. QQ very sharp on the AK, and now it's all up to Slowly to get any extra damage done to the finances of Beyond. Because there's been none so far. All 5 still alive.
Yeah, I mean, I was counting Beyond out. Olivia pulls together a pretty massive 1v4. if there's anything that's sort of going to get the fire rolling once again, it's going to be a big play like that.
The Rekindler.
Yep.
Slowly is looking to damage the economy bit by bit, but Mayrolls jumping up, gets the perfect timing, and will slot a nice shot on the head with the Galil. So, 3 rounds for Beyond to take this one to overtime. Tyloo, they've had a few chances to close out the match, but it's not going to be another. They've got the tactical timeout coming through, but they just don't have that economy. They don't have the finances to upgrade from the USP, so it will have to be some form of gamble they'll take this round.
Yeah, look, Tyloo've already thrown this one in the bin pretty much by just trying to hunt Olivia multiple times, and that's the kind of thing that we've seen for many years from Tyloo. Just no respect, disrespect.
No
it's
discipline.
It's nice to see them being punished by that, punished for that kind of play in the Asian region. Usually happens more when they go international.
Well, you mentioned it. You said that they've been sensible, and it's been nice to see. But as soon as they go for the little bit of a BM play, things take a sour turn. And again, the short push is going to be dealt with effectively. SDK wants some more, but Dan King's at the ready. Nice trade from Mayrolls down at lower, and there it is. It's Attacker versus the World now in the 1v4.
The thing is that I'm kind of watching how quick some of these trades are coming out for Beyond, and how smooth and clean they're looking, and how confident they're starting to move through the map a little bit quicker, a little bit more confidently, which makes me a little bit worried for Tyloo, actually. Do have to see another gun round come out for them before I'm ready to call anything. But I would not be surprised to see this pushed into overtime by Beyond. Really, it's going to come down to this next gun round. They need to make a good call, because I don't think confidence was the issue when you saw that round where they literally just charged onto the A side. That didn't work out for them. So there needs to be the confidence there, no hesitancy, but it also needs to be a pretty high percentage good call from them.
An Attacker finally spotted, dancing around the bullets, but will fall eventually. And there it is, 13 now secured for Beyond. Only 2 away now from an overtime here on the second map of the series. If they do somehow miraculously get back into the game, we will be going to train, which we didn't even consider a possibility at the start of this series.
And fair enough that we didn't. You're looking at how this game has gone. This should already be over. We shouldn't even be here. We should be in a break right now. But, you know, Olivia 1v4s.
Can you hear the frustration in Pilly's voice right now? He's
I'm not
seething.
frustrated.
He's seething.
Why would I be frustrated about Beyond winning?
This is the most
Beyond
angry
given a chance
I've ever heard you. Mitchell?
All right. Well, Tyloo going to put a buy together here. It's really not a good one, Mac. I think they're really playing for the... I mean, Danking's got a scout and armor, and the rest of them have not bought. So
Yeah.
it's interesting. I mean, I guess he's gone and spent the rest of his money, so I don't know about that one. I'm not really sure what's going on there. That's a bit of a misbuy, and Tyloo...
He's gone for
these
the
are the kind of
CZ.
mistakes that definitely don't fill you with confidence.
No.
Either way, though, Beyond are going to start to make their way through the map.
Risky decision. And look at this. They've gone for the stack over towards the B side, expecting it, and Beyond are looking like they're edging in this direction.
Yeah, they're definitely going in that direction. You are right. Some are playing close with the Famis is going to be the main man I'm keeping my eye on. Somebody playing on the shelf there, ready for the mid to B, but it is just going to be a contact straight out this B tunnel. Resmoke is going to give Beyond a little bit more pause for thought.
Tyloo. I feel like it was almost a mistake dropping that smoke. It's now sent it from a one-pronged approach to a three-pronged.
Still plenty of utility here for Beyond. They're second-guessing themselves, but this time it's not going to come back to bite them at this point. So you do see the utility being thrown into that B site a little bit by QQ. Has kept the rotations right where they were as the rest of Beyond. Getting ready for this short execute, but the double push into Long Hut from Tyloo puts them in a position where they could potentially flank and get behind Beyond before they're even ready for it. If Beyond are very timid like we saw in a previous round of getting this bomb down.
QQ here at lowers could put a stop to the flank if he peaks shortly. No, he's going to miss the opportunity. Spots ahead going and will communicate it. Molly going down to short now, but that's going to split up the push back in now. Going forward, attacker is going to be spotted by Mayrolls and dealt with effectively. Somebody making his way through and death from above. Mayrolls again gets it done, but it's going to be him and Olivia to try to hold. Olivia now in the 1v3, needs to try to clutch it, not expecting the second man. There's the 2-man. Beautiful trade from Tyloo. That'll be 16 on the board. Beautiful defuse, and that will be the series. Tyloo take it 2-0. Ladies and gentlemen, congratulations to Tyloo. We are going to go to a short break, and we'll be back to break it all down for you soon.
Well, it was a 2-0 today for Tyloo, and it looked like it was going to be a relatively easy one after Inferno. And I'm going to go and say it probably wasn't quite as easy as we expected it to be there on Dust 2. A 16-13. Tyloo do pick up their own map pick, but a little bit shown by Beyond. That does give us at least something to say, you know, at least feels like they competed in that series.
Yeah, they really started to show up towards the end of Dust 2 there. I'd say through most of Dust 2, you know. It's good to see them play a little bit closer to what we expected to their level to be. Yeah. Particularly, I've got my eye on Olivia and Mayrolls, who sort of stepped up a lot there. They definitely were kind of difference makers, and they're two of the players that have played pretty well historically for this squad, going back to Alpha Red, who have been a little bit quiet in the last little period. The main two who've been playing quite well, at least in Road to Rio, despite their limited success, were QQ and STK. So those are the two guys that I really want to step up to the level we know they're capable of, and they definitely showed glimpses of that on Dust 2.
Yeah, look, that's the Olivia and Mayrolls that we once knew, right? And that's what we need to see more often if Beyond are going to succeed as a team. So, look, they're going to the lower bracket now. Look, they're going to be going up against Lucid Dream, probably. Probably. If it goes exactly like we planned it, it's going to be a tight lower bracket. Round one, I guess. And
did I put you off?
You did. You did. Thank you.
This host is toxic.
So PM.
I was like, why is he dancing? What's going on?
Anyway, look, I think that's great, right? I think it's good for Beyond to be able to put something on the board there. It does, at least in my mind, give me something that I can look at and say, okay, maybe they're not going to get just completely crushed out of this tournament 0-2-0-2. So there is that to talk about. Let's touch on Tyloo for a bit here as well, though, because, they've come into this tournament. One might argue that they're the favourites. One might argue that Vichi's the favourites. It really depends on which side of the fence you kind of sit on in that debate. But Tyloo looking pretty good here. Danking in particular dropping 50 frags over the course of those two maps. It was 52, I think, if I had to pull the exact number out. So that's actually a pretty solid result for, again, another young sort of up-and-coming kind of a player here in the Chinese region that we're really hoping to see a lot from.
Yeah, I think I'm going to want to see a little bit more from them when they play up against Vici, but it's definitely a promising first series from them. They're definitely playing some pretty super standard Counter-Strike, apart from a couple silly rounds where they might have got a little bit over-aggressive trying to kill Olivia.
Yeah, look, that was pretty funny to see Tyloo just going back to what we expected, not showing that discipline. You did mention during the match, it's like good to see Tyloo being extremely sensible in their approach, and then just as they're trying to close the match, they're like, no, I want the final kill. Everyone runs in and dies.
Yeah, I did see that as well, where, I can't remember who got, Olivia, was it, that got the clutch in the end there? Somebody doing somebody things, kind of looking for the hero moment. But by and large, you got to feel pretty happy with that for Tyloo. I guess for me right now, that result, yes, while it's good, doesn't give me enough, at least as far as Tyloo is concerned, to say that they're going to win this tournament. Really need to see them play against Vici. Really need to see them get tested by a top team.
Yeah, I mean, they're expected to beat Beyond. They definitely beat them in pretty much the fashion that we would have wanted them to. So I'd say, it's pretty much dead on to what we're wanting to see from Tyloo so far. Only one game deep. I'm keen to see that upper bracket match, though, before I really start drawing any huge conclusions.
Yeah, I want to have a look to see if Danking can do it twice as well, because he got 52 kills over that series in just 2 maps. That's pretty damn good, considering how much he was popping off on both and how quick that first map went.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think for Danking, he's definitely a player that we'll keep an eye on. My one sort of takeaway from Road to Rio was that he has high peaks, but he also has pretty consistent troughs, and we didn't really get that consistency that we needed out of him in particular, and obviously that wasn't enough then for Tyloo to get over the line against for the likes of Tiger. So it's nice, I think, for Tyloo to sort of ease their way into this competition, go up against Beyond, and make sure that they get over the line there, get back into that sort of match fitness, and obviously looking toward probably Tyloo versus Vici in that upper bracket final. How do we see this going? You expecting much from Vici as a whole, obviously in our next matchup, Pili, to make you think maybe they're going to be better than Tyloo in that upper bracket final, or what are we looking at? I mean, just set the expectations for me.
They should just smash Vici, smash Lucid Dream. Yeah. That's what you expected them to.
Yeah, well, I guess that is something that we might be able to ask Jack as well. We are going to go and jump on into an interview with Jack, who I'm told is on the line with us. Jack, how are you going?
Hey, how are you going?
Yeah, good. Obviously, last time we chatted with you was during Road to Rio, and that was a couple of weeks ago, a few weeks ago now. So I'd be interested to know what you guys have been up to, how you guys have been practicing, and what your expectations were coming into DreamHack Masters Spring.
So since Road to Rio, I think we just played one regional tournament, which is also like online, because nowadays everything is online, I think. And then other than that, we have been just practicing and grinding, and developing some weaker maps, I would say, and also try to find a balanced approach of our game, which is like not towards the absolute craziness, but to some place where we can play a bit more organized in some ways.
So that regional cup that you're referring to, I assume would be the Weibo Cup. I just want to touch on that result. You guys weren't able to really perform to the level that we might have expected from you there. What was going on in that, and has that sort of affected your mindset coming into DreamHack Masters?
Yeah, like we had a team meeting after that defeat. I think we were just like top 8, not even went to, not even we were not even able to go to the semifinals of that event. We lost to, like basically after the loss, we just told each other that we, like, of course, the play styles we were we were having against Vici on Road to Rio, like sometimes it's gonna work, but it's not gonna work every time. Like we need to have some consistent results, and to do that we have to build more structure in our team. So since then, like we've been working on that, and hopefully we can show it for this tournament.
Yeah, I mean, I like the approach. I think it's been a long time coming for Tyloo to build some more structure and some consistency to their game. This tournament, though, you don't have to worry about Tiger, who was the team that beat you in Road to Rio, and I think in the quarters of Weibo Cup as well. So are you feeling a little bit more like your expectations are pretty high for a tournament like this, or are you still trying to take things slowly and just temper the expectations and see how things go?
So for us, like at least for the fans and for ourselves, basically our expectations, like for an Asian event, is always the top one.
Yep.
So I don't think there would be that much of a difference. Of course, it's a shame Tiger is not here. We would definitely love to take our revenge against them, but I think the next match against Vici is going to be pretty exciting, and we're really looking forward to that.
Yeah, we had a quick discussion, Jack, as well, saying that pretty much everyone on Tyloo can AWP, and we were very interested to figure out, can you AWP as well?
For me?
Yeah, how's your AWP?
I was actually a pretty good AWPer back in 1.6, but it was like, regional internet cafe team, so I'm
Beautiful.
not sure.
All right.
6 AWPs,
well,
easy.
Look, maybe if someone gets sick, maybe if someone's not able to play, we'll just sub Jack in. Either way, thanks for the chat, Jack, and hopefully we'll get to talk to you in, later on in this competition.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Awesome. Have
Bye,
a good
guys.
night. Alrighty, well, good to hear from Jack. He's always a great person to interview, and it's quite interesting to sort of see the mentality start to shift a little bit here for Tyloo, right? I've mentioned that Weibo Cup result. For anyone that, isn't aware, that was a tournament that was held within China, which featured pretty much the majority of the Asian region, and Tyloo was sitting in a pretty awkward sort of a spot, like Jack alluded to. They weren't able to make it even into the semi-finals, which is a massive underperformance. That said, the same thing happened to Vici as well, so maybe a bit of form issues for Tyloo and Vici going into DreamHack Masters Spring, but seems like they're trying to work on things. They're trying to work their way through these issues, and they do come in a bit revitalized maybe into DreamHack Masters.
Yeah, look, it's a similar thing for Tyloo and Vici, but much more for Tyloo looking at that Weibo result. The fact is that they lost to Tiger. They lost to Tiger in Road to Rio. They lost to Tiger in Weibo in the quarterfinals. So can you even say it's that bad of a result when they lost a close series to a pretty formidable opponent in Asia?
Yeah, well, and Tiger won Weibo as well. So
yep, that's
look,
exactly right.
If you lose to the winner,
both times,
it doesn't feel too bad.
Yes.
You know? So I guess it's a bit bittersweet.
A little bit. Either way, Tyloo are off to the races here in DreamHack Masters Spring, a 2-0 over Beyond. We do have one more match for you tonight. That's going to be Vici and Lucid Dream. We'll take a extended break here as we do have to catch up a little bit of time. But don't go too far away because that second match of tonight will be up in a bit.